In 2016, I was helping the Roadshow in Indianapolis as an appraiser at the silver table, and a guest came in with what to me is the most historic and significant item I've ever appraised on the Roadshow.
This is drawn by Erik Magnussen, who was my grandmother's first husband. He designed this for Gorham silver.
Erik was brought over from Denmark, because he was already a world-renowned silver designer, by Gorham in 1925 for just a brief period, 1925 to 1929. And he designed this coffee service called the cubic coffee set in 1927, based on the cubist motifs that Picasso and Braque were evoking in their cubist paintings. This is the artist rendering before, presumably, the coffee set was made. You can see it here, the gold wash on top, and then there's an ebonized wash that's on top as well. And it's to give it dramatic light changes that you would see during the course of the day. It's arguably the most magnificent, most important 20th century piece of metalwork in America.
Wow.
The guest, Vicky, had some paperwork and newspaper clippings. Actually, I even think maybe the wedding announcement of her grandmother having been married to Erik Magnussen. And it all just came together. And we were able to look online and figure out that this tea service was in the Rhode Island School of Design in Providence. The finished set is now in the Rhode Island School of Design. And here we have the original drawing.
Right.
We think minimum of $10,000 to $15,000 in the auction market today.
Wow. That's surprising. That's great.
We arrived at the figure of $10,000 to $15,000, $10,000 to $20,000. In hindsight, that might have been a little too conservative. I think after the segment aired, I think there was a lot of interest from academics and scholars in the field of silver, and it really became even clearer to me just how significant that drawing is. The Rhode Island School of Design was planning a major retrospective on Gorham silver, and this coffee service was going to be one of the centerpieces of that retrospective. So to have the artist rendering was like a perfect opportunity for everybody.
In planning the exhibition, we knew we were going to include key pieces from our collection, the cubic service certainly being one of them. We have been working on this exhibition since 2014, and while we were working on this exhibition, I was watching Antiques Roadshow, which I do frequently, and on my television screen came the original design drawing for this service, which had not been seen in a very long time, most likely since the 1920s. And I could hardly believe my eyes when I saw it. I fainted, stopped breathing, and probably a number of other things. And the next morning, I called Antiques Roadshow to see if I might be able to talk to the owner of the drawing, and thankfully she agreed to talk to me. When I talked to Vicky originally, she kindly agreed to lend the drawing for the exhibition, and later she kindly agreed to let us acquire the drawing from her, and it is now part of the collection at the RISD Museum.
It's just great that this drawing that was in the family for 3 generations has finally resurfaced and is right where it needs to be, united with the coffee set. My understanding is that there was some minor conservation done. There were some minor losses around the edges, as I remember, maybe some tape on it as well. Now that the work has been correctly conserved, I think the value could almost be double what we said on the show. It could be $20,000 to $30,000. It's really satisfying to know that the work we do, that I do, that we all do in the Antiques Roadshow can lead to an academic discovery like this.